Hi, I'm Elizabeth from the Cooperative Extension, and today we're talking about farmers markets. So our Sierra Vista Farmers Market is open, and the Bisbee Farmers Market is open as well if you're in Cochise County. And the Sierra Vista Farmers Market does take SNAP benefits. So that is a great place to stock up on fresh fruits and vegetables. You can use your benefits just like you would at the market. So you can use them for meat, egg, dairy, just anything that is not prepared, a hot prepared food. And the bonus is you can do double up bucks. So double up bucks allows you to get for $1 up to $20 for every $1 of SNAP benefits you redeem at the market. So if you redeem $20 of SNAP benefits, you can get 20 double up bucks. And that is good for Arizona grown fruits and vegetables. So let's begin. We are going to make 2 recipes and with just the things that I got at the market. So we have some beautiful tomatoes, and you can tell that these are all different colors. And we're going to make breakfast pizzas. So in the recipe link that I'll put in the comments, there are a couple of variations on really fun egg dishes that children may enjoy. And so we're gonna kind of do a mashup today. So breakfast pizzas, but instead of using pizza sauce, we're gonna make our own tomato sauce. So as you can see, I've already sliced some up. And I'm gonna show you how I did that. So there's our sliced tomatoes. And I'm just gonna take a couple here. And hold our knife like that. I'm gonna slice right down the middle. Especially with tomatoes, you wanna make sure your knife is really sharp. And it's okay if there are a couple different sizes. And so here we are. And next I'm going to add a little bit of fresh herbs to this. So I have basil and mint here. At the market, you can get anything you want. Or maybe you have some growing on your windowsill. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that there. A little bit of vinegar, just for a little bit of like acid, but not a lot. I'm using a rice wine vinegar because it's pretty and has a really mild flavor. And next we're gonna add a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt, just a tiny bit. Yeah. So I'm gonna mix that together. I'm gonna set that aside so that it can rest and kind of let the flavors mix up a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna top this with a scrambled egg. So I have English muffins. You could use toast or whatever you have on hand. If you're at the market and you are lucky to get some fresh bread, you could use that as well. So we have these beautiful eggs from the market. So I have here just a flat top skillet. If I wasn't doing this with food demo, I would do it in a pan on my stove. But that's really hard for you all to see, so we're gonna do this way. So a little bit of nonstick spray, or if you prefer butter or margarine, this is really easy to keep on hand. So make sure it's good and hot, but not too hot. And it's good and scrambled. I did add a touch of salt to my egg. Get that all in there. As you can tell, it's nice and warm, so it's going to cook pretty quick. And it's a beautiful yellow color because there's really fresh eggs. So that scrambles up pretty fast. So this is a pretty quick, easy breakfast that you could make for the family on a busy morning. Okay, so now we're ready to build our breakfast pizza. So one of the other recipes that is on AZ Health Zone is making a funny face morning dish. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a mashup of that. So I'm gonna take my tomatoes that have been sitting here and put those on my English muffin. If you were making this for maybe more of an adult palate, you could use balsamic vinegar. So that looks like plenty. And now I'm going to take the egg, which I've just moved over here to the side, and put it on here. So let's just move it on there just like that. And then we're gonna make a funny face with it. So I'm gonna use a little bit of mozzarella cheese for the hair. And I'm going to use a little bit of green onion for the eyes and the nose. If you were doing this, you could use bell pepper or whatever you like. I got green onions at the market yesterday, so I'm using those. And then I'm going to use one of our little slices of tomato for the mouth. And there we have our funny face breakfast pizza. Hello, I am Elizabeth and I'm from the Cooperative Extension. This is going to be our second menu item that we're making from items that we picked up at the farmers market. So we made a breakfast pizza, which is really kid friendly, and they can kind of make it their own and decorate it. So next we're going to move on to a dish that could be a breakfast dish or even a dinner dish. And in the AZ Health Zone, it is a Brussels sprout hash and eggs. Since Brussels sprouts aren't in season and I was getting what we had at the farmer's market, we're gonna make this with bok choy. And it will be a really good flavor. So I'm really excited to make this. So, bok choy hash. So, I've chopped up some bok choy, and I kept one leaf for you here, so I'm going to point out a couple of things. You want to make sure you wash these really good. They do grow in the ground, so dirt does get into this part of the bok choy, so you want to make sure you give it a good scrubbing under some running water. You can soak them in some water with a little bit of vinegar, and they'll be good to go. And I also wanted to point out, so one of the things about buying farmers market produce is that it's not from the grocery store. And so this is perfectly fine to eat. There's nothing wrong with this. It'll saute up just yummy. So a little bit of tip here for doing this. So I just take off the end and set that aside. I really like the crunchy part, so we just slice that up super duper thin. Let me make sure you can see this. And when I get to the leaves, I just kind of roll it up a little bit. that to our bowl. So we have a nice large bowl of bok choy. Now greens of any kind cook down a lot. So if you were going to eat this raw, that would be a lot of bok choy. But when you put it on heat, it cooks down a lot. The crunchy white parts, they'll still be the bulk of it, and the green part, like the green leaves, that'll cook down a lot. So there we go. The next item in our recipe is garlic, and I bought this beautiful garlic at the farmer's market, along with some really nice onions we're going to use at a different time. So we have garlic, and there's no need to buy minced garlic like in the jars. It's really easy to do this. So you take your knife, take the flat of your knife, and get the good bang, and as you can see, it just comes right off. So we're just gonna take the paper off of here. It is sticky. And we're just going to give this a chop. So kind of get it all together. And chop it as small as you like. I like garlic, so I don't mind a little bit bigger chunks of it. If you're making this for your children, you might want to go light on it, maybe give it a little bit bigger chop. So what we're going to do is all this goes in together, so I'm just going to add it right into my bok choy, just like that. All right. Okay, so we're ready to cook our bok choy. And once again, if you're doing this on the stove, you would just take your saute pan, put a little oil in it, and cook it that way. But for visual sake, we're going to use this. So the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of olive oil. That's what I have here. So you could do that, or a non-stick spray if you're trying to cut back on some fats. But olive oil is a healthy fat, so feel free to use that. And I'm just gonna go real light, because on this non-stick skillet, you don't need a lot. Things don't stick. So I'm just gonna kind of move that around a little bit. And I've been preheating this while we've been doing everything else. And I'm just gonna take and put this on here. And we're gonna let this cook down for a little while. The garlic smells really good. I wish you could smell this. Okay, so as you can see, this is cooked down quite a bit. It's kind of, and it smells fantastic. I love the kind of the sharp smell of the bok choy, and that fresh garlic is just fantastic. So one of the things I'm going to do, since we have these beautiful green onions from the farmer's market that we were using in our breakfast pizza, I'm going to add just a couple to this hash. Kind of give it a little extra oomph. All right. And there's a look right up in there. Okay, oops. Keep losing bok choy over the side. Alright, so while that is still cooking, we're going to work on our eggs. So for this dish, we're going to do a fried egg. And farm eggs, you should always pack into a bowl before you put them on your cooking surface. Sometimes they're a little bit harder than others. So just hit it with a knife. It's a nice little trick. And into the bowl. And as you can see, that is a nice yellow color, and we don't have to worry about anything in there. Okay, so I'm just going to use the other side of this pan. I'm going to put a little nonstick spray on there just to make sure. And I'm going to use my favorite spatula. This one's been around for a very, very long time, but it is my favorite for fried eggs. So I'm just going to pour this out onto the spot here and use my spatula to kind of keep it together. And after it sets, we can flip it. So I'm going to put just a touch of salt on my egg. And a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to give the greens a little bit of a stir. So one of the things in the recipe, it says that you can put a lid on this and steam the egg until it's done. You want the whites to be firm. I'm just gonna flip it and kind of wait. I like my yolks, what I call medium, so I don't like them crazy runny, but I do like a little bit of the yellow to kind of come out. Especially with these beautiful ones like this, but that's just whatever you like there. One of the cool things about this recipe is if you wanted to at this point, you could add some hot pepper flakes to the bok choy or whichever greens you're using. So there's a lot of kale and collards and all kinds of dark, leafy, beautiful greens at the market. You can add that. You can add a little bit of like a hot sauce, so like a hot pepper sauce if you like. We actually have a lot of jalapenos in our garden, so you can find the top one of those up and throw it in there. So this is almost ready. I'm just going to flip this egg over one more time. It's just nice and firm around the yolk. I'm going to move that over so everybody can kind of see it. The yolk is still soft. And then one of the things it does call for is a squeeze of lemon. I don't have a lemon. I do have some lemon juice. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle a little bit of that on there. Now we'll plate it up. Turn my skillet off. So there we are. We have our breakfast hash with one egg. And put my fork in there. And it was beautiful color. Alright, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you later.